think it's a easier way to take in some information. And this one today I'm calling Calming Your Mind and Start Creating the Life You Want. Um, Everyone has the capability to access that power over mind over matter. And this has been a 30-year plus passion for me is with my first book was Wayne Dyer, You'll See It When You Believe It. And we must understand what this power really is. So I'm going to be talking about what is this power that we have to affect mind over matter. And today you're going to be learning how to work with your breath, which is a very ancient way that people would use breath work to get into a state of hypnosis to access deeper levels of the mind. And you'll be using breath work, self-hypnosis, and imagination to harness the power of what physicists call the quantum field. And this is where I really love where this work is going now, is that we're merging the idea of physics with a lot of the things that I've been doing with people for decades. And the quantum field, just so we're all kind of on the same page with that, is quantum physics says that there's this invisible energy force or field. And in that field, they call it the field of, people call it the field of possibilities, the alternative field. And basically the idea is that, and this is where it ties into old beliefs about intuition, is that you don't have just one destiny. You don't have a fate. What quantum physics says is that all futures are possible for you. And so if there's a future or there's a situation where you came on this live today, or you watched the replay, or you didn't watch it all at all, before that event happens, all those possibilities are available to you. So there could be a situation where you take a job, you don't take a job, you take it a year from now. So all those possibilities are available to you. And it's like, well, which one do I end up on? And the truth is you end up on the timeline of the one where you put your thoughts and your emotions and your energy. And so with that, today, I'm going to be teaching you about how to work with that quantum field. And just so you know a little bit about me, I'm the owner of Charleston Hypnosis Center. Many of you know that. I owned Hypnosis Concepts out in California. I've been in practice for 30 years, and I also teach through the American Hypnosis and Coaching Academy. And I'm a certified master trainer and all that good stuff. And so where this takes me is something I really wanted to connect the dots with you guys today. So I believe if you understand how things work, then maybe you're a little more motivated to actually do these exercises. And in phase one of my journey, I became aware of wanting to do hypnosis with other people because it was so powerful for me. And phase one of my journey was learning hypnotherapy for myself and becoming a clinical hypnotherapist so that we could work with, as you see my little mind map here, power of the subconscious mind. So hypnosis is one of the most powerful ways you can make lasting changes in your thoughts, feelings, and behaviors by tapping into the subconscious where your beliefs are and your emotions are. And where people oftentimes get stuck with just coaching or just talk therapy or just doing self-help is because you have not, that does not allow you to get down to this subconscious level and make changes within. Hypnosis is amazing for that. So that was phase one of my journey, is learning that for myself, learning to help other people with it. And then that would explain why I believe, and I talked in my last couple workshops, why meditation and hypnosis are important, because they allow you to quiet that thinking mind, soften those subconscious filters, get down to the subconscious level through meditation, through hypnosis, and make changes that tend to be more lasting because you're making changes at the subconscious level. Also at that level, you're tapping into intuition, intuitive awareness, which can be information coming up from the subconscious mind. It can be information coming from this quantum field that we're talking about today. And so phase two of my journey was this mental map becoming more complex. And yet it was really building off of what I was already doing with clients. And that is becoming aware that we also have this paraconsciousness, or what Carl Jung, the famous psychologist, called the collective unconscious, which is the deepest layer of knowledge, which basically says that you and I and everyone in between have an ability to not only tap into our hard drive, the subconscious mind, to make changes, but we also have this amazing ability to tap into universal consciousness, cosmic intelligence, to make changes not just within ourselves, but outside of ourselves in the 3D. And then that led me to phase three. And that's going into this level here where you're really using your intuition and you're tapping into this universal knowledge to make changes in what people would call manifesting or materializing. So, and essentially, you're not creating from scratch. You're simply tapping into a timeline where you already are the person you want to be and having the things in life that you want to have. So phase three is learning to harness the power of your imagination and emotions, not just to change yourself at the subconscious, so you're different, but to change the 3D, which everyone describes as manifesting. So I tried to like simplify that down. And so people are wondering, why is someone who's doing hypnosis talking about intuition, talking about manifesting? Because of that mental model that I just described to you. And God love you if you can tell me, drop in the comments that that makes sense to you, because it makes sense to me, but I'm hoping I've simplified it enough to that it makes sense to you guys. And so to do this, you're going to learn to quiet your mind. That was my, if you go back on YouTube and you go to my last week's quieting the mind, teaching you 3 very simple techniques for meditating. Quieting your mind allows you to soften those subconscious filters. Again, get down to the subconscious level, opening up your intuition, and then tapping into these other timelines that are available to you. And we're going to be doing the exercises today to actually show you very quickly how you can do all of this in a very simple but powerful way. And we're going to use the breath work. And breath work is, like I said, one of the oldest ways that in tribal times they would do breath work to get into hypnotic states. Holotropic breath work allows you to get into hypnotic states. But we're going to be using visualization with the breath work. And what does breathing do? It slows the thinking mind. It brings you into the present moment. And some believe that if you're focusing on the breath, that it opens up channels within you that allow you to access this cosmic information, this quantum field where wave particles will solidify into the 3D reality, and the breath is believed to be the bridge. So again, it allows you to quiet your mind by doing this breath work, opening up that subconscious channel. And essentially what we're going to be doing is with this breath work, we're going to be breathing in the energy, the life force energy, and then releasing your intentions into the field today. And so it's a 3-step method. And the first step, I'm going to go over everything with you, and then I'll invite you to close your eyes and go through this experience as an exercise today. And so with this, it would take you just a few minutes to do this every day. And you would pick a topic, you would pick something you want to work on, or what you'd like to create, or a way you want to become. So it could be a different way you want to be. It could be a different way you want to feel. It could be a different way you want to behave, or it could be something outside of yourself that you'd like to see happen, a job that you want to get, a relationship that you want to see improve, or an issue that you want to see resolved. And so the idea is that as I take you through this exercise, when I'm asking you to inhale, the one thing you're going to imagine is that you're literally breathing in from the quantum field. You're breathing in life force energy. You're breathing in the co-creative force of the universe. And you could imagine this, if you're visual, as a white light, as a purple light, as the colors of the galaxy. You can imagine breathing in this co-creative force, breathing it into your body. And then I'm going to ask you to hold that breath for a few seconds. And as you hold it, what you want to imagine is one single scene or idea that you're going to release into the universe, release into the quantum field to create it, manifest it, materialize it. And so you would want to imagine seeing, feeling, and experiencing this thing that you want as already done. You would want to imagine yourself as already being the way you want to be. And we're going to, again, go through some specific topic areas today. But then when I ask you to exhale, what you want to imagine, they say in manifesting, a big part of it is releasing, not placing excess importance on something you want. So you're going to imagine as you exhale that you're going to release that idea, release that experience, release that different way of being or what it is you want. You're going to release it into the quantum field. And then that releasing is sending out basically like an energetic signature to what you want. And then how I sense it myself is that it draws you to the timeline where you are already that version of you, where you do already have that problem resolved, where you do have that thing or situation achieved. So you'll inhale the co-creative force of the universe. You'll pause. And then when you're holding your breath for just 3 to 4 seconds, you're going to imagine what it is you want to put out there to the universe, having it, imagining it as if it's already done. And then as you exhale, you're releasing it out to the universe. So we're going to do 3 different exercises today, 3 different breathing exercises. We're going to do one that focuses on prosperity, financial well-being and abundance. We're going to do one that's on health, physical, mental wellness, physical energy, disease-free, healthy, lots of energy, anti-aging. I did say in one of the promos when I was promoting this workshop that there is a woman, if you wanted to look her up, she's an old, like deceased mind scientist named Julie Seaton, and she was a doctor, and she was attributed with doing this particular exercise that I'm going to be teaching you today. And she did regular visualizations with this breathing exercise for anti-aging. Okay, so ladies who are watching this and you're looking at the wrinkles on your face, do this every day. And I would love to see the experiment of what happens. But basically, the story is that when Dr. Seaton, Julie Seaton, was 70, she looked 30. And from doing these breathing exercises where she would visualize herself in her light body, healthy, vibrant, and not getting old. And then the third one we're going to do today is the one for love and relationships. So I'm going to tell you about each one, and then I'll guide you through it. We'll go through one each more specifically. And so first we're going to do the prosperity technique. So let me walk you through it so you know what you're going to be doing, and then I want you to do it with me. And basically it's a 3 breath cycle, like I said. I've got my notes on here too for it. But essentially what you're going to do is when I ask you to inhale, I'm going to guide you through this. You're going to imagine inhaling that endless supply of life force, and then I'll count to 3. You can do, at home, you can do some people do the 7 breath or the 7 count technique, but I just want to make sure that we don't make this too difficult for everyone. So you're going to inhale for 3, drawing in that energy life force. You're going to hold for 3 and imagine for you abundance, financial flow, and prosperity. I know those are ambiguous terms, but for you, each of you listening, you could see money in the bank. You could see money coming to you, people writing checks. You could see yourself winning the lottery if you want. But really, what you want to do is imagine yourself already having that financial prosperity. So I recommend the best thing that you would do is to imagine that someone told you that, your $1 million or several $1 million is being transferred into your personal account. It'll take a few days, but you're imagining that money and it's flowing and it's expected, and there's this feeling of anticipation. For some people listening today, maybe finances isn't your challenge, and there's another type of prosperity or abundance that you would want to imagine. Feel free to do that. You can customize this. And then when I ask you to exhale, you're going to, on the second breath, we'll do this 3 times. And basically, I should have numbered it differently, but on the exhale, I'll have you hold, and then on the exhale, you're going to imagine releasing that to the universe, meaning releasing that out into the quantum field, and then the wave particles solidifying into your 3D with this. And so I'll just take you through this and guide you through it. And so I think that you can see from the slide kind of where I'm going with this. And again, if something doesn't exactly fit for you, morph it into what does fit for you. So if abundance and prosperity means something different for you, then do that instead. This is just a basic outline so that you can get the idea and start doing this for yourself. Okay, so let's go ahead and have you guys close your eyes. And just start with your eyes closed. I want you to just scan your body and just kind of release tension, follow along with my voice, and just let my voice guide you. And we'll start with the prosperity breath for supply and financial flow. And so I want you to imagine now on your first inhaling breath, I want you to just visualize this thick golden mist of abundance entering your lungs as you inhale. This thick golden co-creative force of the universe, this endless supply. And as you hold it, I want you to imagine feeling a sense of whatever it is for you, abundance, financial flow, prosperity. Hold that. And then as you exhale, imagine that you are releasing and seeing, sensing, feeling abundance, prosperity being released into your field of consciousness, into the quantum field. And as it is, it's drawing to you people, circumstances that create abundance and prosperity for you. And then on your next in-breath, again, just feeling that energy of the co-creative energy of the universe, that endless supply of co-creative energy. Inhale it like a golden light. Let it fill the body. And then as you hold the breath for a moment, imagine or just say to yourself, abundance, prosperity, endless supply of money. Feel that feeling. And then as you exhale, release it into your field, release it into the quantum field. And as you do, like attracts like. So as you do this, if you were to do this for several minutes, what you're doing is you're allowing your mind to navigate to the timelines where those experiences are already lined up for you. So it's different than attracting. The law of attraction, how I really have come to see it and know it, is it's It's already there. And you're just navigating yourself to a version of reality where those things already exist for you. So for me, it's a much more effortless feeling with that. Okay, so now as we do, um, now let's do this. Yeah, me too. Okay, so yes, I didn't put the exhale bullet in. And actually, the hold, the exhale is just releasing whatever you're holding. So let's do another third breath on this prosperity thing and imagine again, visualizing the creative force of the universe that creates all things, drawing that into your body, breathing into the lungs, feel it energizing you with the sense of possibility. Anything is possible in the quantum field. Everything is already available in the quantum field. Breathe that energy into your body. And then imagine abundance, prosperity, endless financial flow, money flowing in, money circulating through your life abundantly, easily, holding that idea. And then as you exhale, releasing it into your field so that it attracts to you people, circumstances that are aligned with that outcome, those outcomes. And then when you're ready, you can open your eyes. Just take a moment, open your eyes, and we'll switch to the next one, which is health and prosperity. And you're right, Bonnie, I should have added this as 3 steps. I was rushing to get through all of this and type it out. So it's better if you have your eyes closed, you just follow along with what I'm saying versus what's actually on the slide here. And we're going to do something similar for well-being. So if you have a health issue when you're holding your image, you would want to imagine yourself past the health issue, having energy, having vitality, being healed. If it's looking in the you know, in the mirror and seeing signs of aging. Imagine holding a vision of yourself, looking younger, looking more energized, looking more youthful. And so it could be anything. Again, this is more general. You would have to pick what you want to pick for this. So it could be something very simple. And let's go ahead and do this one. So go ahead and close your eyes, and we're going to do this for well-being. And again, on your in-breath, imagine just drawing in the life force energy. It's filling your body. Imagine your body's like a hollow vase or cup, and that life force energy is just flowing through. And since we're doing health and well-being, imagine it's just activating every cell in your body, energizing it, renewing it. And then as you hold, imagine your body healthy, energized, disease-free, active, able. If you have joints or issues, health issues, whatever those health issues are, they're gone, they're done, they're resolved. And then as you exhale, releasing that idea out into the universe, out into the quantum field. And then as you inhale, bring in that golden mist of vibrant energy, the co-creative energy of the universe. Inhale it in. And as you hold, imagine yourself healthy, all joints healthy, all organs healthy, your body vital, alive, defying aging. And then as you exhale, release that idea, that concept, that feeling out into your field. And quantum entanglement drawing to you circumstances that will allow you to have that as your experience. That's my belief about quantum entanglement is you're breathing out the visualization, what you want to have happen in hypnosis. thought it was just the subconscious mind doing these things for people, but I've come to believe it's more than that, far more than that. And you are quantum entangling with those versions of yourself, that version of you that you're now imagining. So on this next breath in, imagine breathing that light in, breathing that light force into the body, breathing in life force. And then as you hold, imagine yourself light-filled, healthy, happy, pain-free, disease-free, anti-aged, youthful looking, youthful feeling. And then as you exhale, release it into the field, release it out to the universe, and allow it to draw to you again. And from this is where intuition comes in. It's like you could think of all of a sudden you hear someone tell you something that resonates with you, that would help you with wrinkles on your face, or something that would, you come across someone telling you about a new technology for healing joint pain. Like that's how the universe will speak to you through your intuition. So many of you are in my modern intuition group, and that's how the intuition works. It's not to tell you your destiny or your fate, but it's to put these things out to the universe and then allow your intuition to be the part of you that's very aware to subtle signs and directions of where to go and what to do to be on those timelines that you're now putting out there through your visualization and your breath. Okay, so next step, let's do relationships. Happy, healthy relationships. Married, single, whatever it is, you can imagine it here with this. And, you know, if you're in a relationship and maybe it's not exactly where you want it to be, you could imagine feeling the way you want to feel with this relationship. And so let me take you through this one. And I do a 3-part for relationships anyway. And typically it's how you want to feel with the person, how you want them to make you feel, how you want them to feel with you, and then how the two of you want to feel together. So we're going to do something similar with that. So let me see, someone just dropped something in the comments. Let me go back. There we go. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Thanks, Elizabeth, for coming. All right. So let's do this. All right. Go ahead and close your eyes again. Let's do this 3-breath cycle for a relationship. So again, drawing in this endless supply of life force energy, everything's possible in the universe, in the quantum field, breathing in that possibility, breathing in the life force energy. Some people even say it has an element and energy of feeling of love with it. So for this, if that feels good to you, imagine breathing in universal love into the body, every cell, breathing in universal love. And then as you hold that breath for a moment, imagine feeling loved by a partner you already know about or an unknown one yet to come. But hold for a moment and imagine feeling that love, feeling loved, feeling totally unconditionally loved. And then as you breathe out, just let that feeling out to the universe to attract to you what you are now putting out. And then do the breath again, feeling the energy of peace and universal love. It could be a feeling of happiness, security, and then holding that breath and feeling a feeling of contentment with your partner, feeling secure, feeling loved and contentment and security. And then as you exhale, breathing it out, releasing it to the universe. And then on this third one, as you inhale in and draw in that light, universal creative energy where anything, infinite things are possible, breathe that energy in, and imagine the feeling of your person, whether you know this person, it's your spouse, your boyfriend, girlfriend, or someone you don't know, but imagine this person just looking at you with adoration and true love, and feeling that love coming from that person. And then as you exhale, release that out to the universe. And I will tell you that when you do this on your own, you can pace the breath yourself. I've had to, as a, with a group, I have to kind of pace it myself, but it'll work even so much better when you do it on your own, because you can do a count 1, 2, 3, hold for 3, release for 3. But if you want to dwell longer in that idea before you release it, you could hold and pace it with your own breathing and with how long you can hold a breath. Honestly, that's really what it would boil down to. So the idea today is the importance of taking an active role and becoming a co-creator in your life, or I call it becoming a co-creator. And what a co-creator means is that you are the final authority on what's true, having faith in yourself, using your intuition, that once you start releasing these things out to the universe, you'll be looking for the signs and synchronicities that will pull you onto the timeline where these things exist for you. They already exist. And then taking these teachings, making them your own, like I said, shift the breath work to whatever cadence works best for you, and awakening your own mastery with this. I am going to stop this share, and people can ask questions. But with that said, if you do want to work with me privately, I've got my coaching website, RebeccaTaylorshaw.com, and my hypnosis website at Charleston Hypnosis Center. But let me stop this now. And if people have questions, Bonnie, if you have questions, you can unmute yourself. If anybody else has questions, jump in. Okay. All right. Does anybody have any questions about this? Does it make sense? Are you willing to do it? Are you willing to practice it? I might have to have a challenge in my intuition group with this to see if we can get some people to do it. I even thought about doing one where it's like we do an anti-aging one. Do this 3 times a day and imagine your face looking younger, and doing a before and after picture after 21 days. It'd be fun to do something like this. I'm going to do it. I have this little sunspot on my forehead, and I'm not wanting to go to the dermatologist. So I'm going to start using this plus some of my holistic stuff to see if I can get rid of my spot on my forehead. So that's how I'm going to be using it. And just what I'll imagine is just seeing my forehead just clear with no spot on there. How often do I recommend? Because it's pretty quick to do this, I think that I would pick one topic. And you can get more specific than what we did today. And I would do it 3 times a day. And literally, it's going to take you maybe a couple minutes to do it, if that. And again, you're going to customize it. But if you did that 3 times a day for 2 minutes, and you do that for 21 days, it is no doubt in my mind, you're going to see some movement. You're going to see some signs that the universe is listening, and you won't know. And you can't just do it once and say it didn't work. You have to really pulse it out there. Part of it is because it takes some time to switch to those timelines. And the more that timeline is different than what you're experiencing now, it may be that part of it is you have to overcome your own limiting beliefs on this. So let's see. Okay, so with that said, if you have any other questions, let me know. You can unmute yourself or drop in the chat. Otherwise, I hope this was helpful today. And again, the simple things are very, very powerful. And if we don't do them, if we don't practice them, we'll never know how powerful they can be. So I really encourage you guys to do this. And then let me know. You can join my Modern Intuition group, and we have conversations there, and we talk about these things. And I'd love to hear from each of you. So, all right, thanks, guys. Have a great day.